If a campaign is an engine, research is the dashboard and headlights you build yourself with spare parts. Even if you don't have a national pollster on speed dial or a war chest for endless focus groups, you can still learn faster than your opponents. As a small party, your ability to act quickly is your advantage. The aim is simple. Replace hunches with just enough evidence to make the next good decision on message, messengers, and where to spend your limited time and euros. Start by deciding what you actually need to know. Strip it to the essentials. Who you must persuade or mobilize, what they care about this month, and which of your messages is most likely to move them. Once those questions are clear, work in tight weekly loops rather than grand one-off studies. On Monday, you collect what's already free. Last election results, street by street, national statistics, credible public surveys, and notes from your volunteers' conversations. You scan your own channels too. Which pages people read on your website, which posts get saves rather than likes, which emails people reply to rather than open. By midweek, you listen in depth on a shoestring. You convene a couple of living room conversations hosted by supporters, you sit in a community center and ask open questions, and you record patterns in people's own words. At the weekend, you measure just enough to compare options. You run a €30 split test between two headlines, you do some A/B testing on your newsletter database, or email a micro-survey to your supporter list. On Sunday night, you write a one-page brief. What we learned, how confident we are, what we will do on Monday. Then you repeat. When you put it like this, campaign research doesn't sound so big and unreachable, right? Even with limited means, quality comes from discipline rather than price. You keep your questions neutral and short. You avoid convenient samples that only capture the loudest online voices. You try to hear from different ages, languages, and neighborhoods, not just your friends. You accept that small numbers bring uncertainty, and you say so out loud. You don't hunt for a perfect truth. You look for convergence across methods. If the same message performs best in a tiny ad test, shows up in canvassing notes, and matches what people say in the living room, it's probably good enough to scale. And just so you know, even with incredibly expensive surveys, focus groups, and all other things money can buy, there always is some guessing required. So you are not that far off. Creatives can be tested frugally. Instead of arguing about a poster, make 2 simple versions and show them to 50 people in your target areas, in a street stall, after a community meeting, or via a quick online form. Ask which one is clearer and why. Instead of commissioning a big study on your leader's image, cut a 30-second clip and compare it to another clip with a different opener. Use the cheapest possible ad spend to find the direction of travel, not a courtroom verdict. And very importantly, lock in decisions with strict deadlines. Otherwise, you have the risk of getting stuck in never-ending analysis. Each test ends with a choice. Run the winner, fix the loser, or stop the idea. Even on a tight budget, ethics and compliance are non-negotiable. You only collect the minimum personal data you need, you explain why you're collecting it, and you keep it secure. You avoid manipulative targeting and respect national rules on publishing polls and pre-election silence. You assume people will see your materials and stand by them. Doing the right thing is not just a law, it is part of building trust with the very voters you hope to serve. Frugality doesn't mean poverty of ambition, it means focus. 10 well-run conversations in the right estate beat 1,000 unfiltered online comments. A €50 A/B test that prevents a week of wasted creative work pays for itself. A one-page weekly learning brief sent on time is worth more than a glossy report no one reads. When money is tight, momentum is your currency. Learn something small every week, act on it immediately, and let those small, compound improvements guide you to where your message resonates and your effort matters most. In the end, campaigns are built by people who care enough to knock on doors after work and share a spreadsheet on a Sunday night. Research, done simply and honestly, helps those people spend their scarce energy where it counts. Treat it as your compass, steer with judgment, and you'll make every euro, every hour, and every conversation work harder for the future you want to win.